You got a lot of practice down there.
Peaks for weeks.
We are Black Wharf.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox, and if you're exhausted with your online job search, turn to the Pros Express Employment Professionals. Your local Express office is your one connection to endless job opportunities. With just one application, they can help you find a job across dozens of openings. And as always, job seekers never pay a fee. Visit expresspros.com. With more than 870 locations, there's an office nearby ready to help you. To find a location near you, visit expresspros.com. Whether you're looking for contract work or a full-time position, let Express help.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
The right lane is blocked off by a stalled vehicle on the 290 Toll Road eastbound at Harris Branch Parkway, and there's also a crash on the service road of 183 southbound at Loop 360. And a heads up for drivers heading to New Braunfels this morning on I-35 southbound. Construction work blocks off two right lanes at Watson Lane, causing an hour of backup that starts from Posey. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Payday. Hardworking people need a hardworking candy bar. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is definitely working hard for you. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday, peanut caramel bar. Get to it.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on their network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data priority. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's almost time for kickoff. Brought to you by Bud Light.
Makes a tackle 30. Turns down the sidelines. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Listen to every play, every touchdown, every win on 1300 The Zone.
Fires for the end zone. It's intercepted. Kickoff. This ball game is over.
Today's countdown is
9 days.
Presented by Bud Light all season long on the free iHeartRadio app.
This Sunday, iHeart presents the Big Three Championship between the Miami 305 and the Chicago Triplets. This epic fight for the title pits Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson against Montrezl Harrell. In their regular season meeting, Montrezl exploded for 28 points and dominated the Chicago win. Can Beasley and crew win the rematch when it counts the most? The action starts with the Big Three's 8th annual All-Star Game, featuring Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, Jordan Crawford, Jonathan Simmons, and more. The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific on CBS.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business? Wherever they are. And that's exactly where you could be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners everywhere, from the car to the gym to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your audience, we can also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection, 0.5 milligrams.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Mix and match scents to create your own unique scent combo that is as unique as you are. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horde, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Hordes, 1300 The Zone. The Craig Way Show.
So Texas goes in there to play him, and Danny Meyer calls him.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, El Paso,
San Antonio, and Silsbee, Texas,
or wherever you may be listening. This is a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. We are 9 days away from Texas and Ohio State, 14 days away from Cowboys and Eagles. We've got Arch Manning sound. We have Ant Hill sound. We have sound from everybody. We also have our guy Eric Henry joining us from Horns 247 at 7:34, and we've got final preseason games that start tonight. Somebody will be making a team and somebody will not. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards, who has been working his behind off already this morning. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. We're also going to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Pantera. But all you got to do is download that always free, new and improved iHeartRadio app. Get over to AM 1300 The Zone. Look for that microphone and leave the keyword for the day. Or, matter of fact, you can just leave us a voicemail and tell us how great we are. We are not shy about accepting that. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. I wish that we didn't have like about a second delay, but outside of that, everything is great.
It don't seem like it's that long, man. It don't seem like it's that long.
Well, it's I know that my wife asked me, she said, do you think Hardge is missing you? And I said, yeah, he's missing me. He won't say it, but he's missing me.
I did miss you yesterday, though, because we had a big event at the University of Texas. Day before we were cooking on the field, we were basting as we were walking around on the football field. Kudos to those players that are out there, because with that equipment on and everything else, I know that they was hot because we was hot and we was just walking.
Hardge, the little pellets that are on the field were melting to my shoes.
Yeah, my bracelet was about to be immersed into that field. I had to pick it up and get that out of the way. But yeah, it was a little warm. But yesterday we had a great event. Shout out to Christine. She does an unbelievable job of setting us up. You were missed yesterday, but a lot of folks are tuning in to listen to the show today because I made sure of it. So
all right.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. So let's get into it. You know, there was some conversation about Texas football team, and obviously, like I said, we're 9 days away from the start of the football season. And it was the last few times that we're going to get before the season start to talk to a couple of the players. And one of those players is preseason All-American Anthony Hill Jr. Anthony Hill Jr. has a new look. He shaved his head, and now he's focused on the task at hand. But he was asked about the hype on being the #1 team in the land.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Being ranked before the season even starts doesn't mean anything. I don't even know how they get those opinions, but I feel like we do a good job of keeping the main thing, trying to get better every day and go win some games.
Well, his voice changed, and that was Arch Manning talking about winning.
I was about to say, wow, how polished Anthony Hill got overnight.
he was locked in and ready to go. And so when Anthony Hill said that, but the fact of the matter is Anthony Hill says it's just a number. We don't really care about that. It's kind of echoing the sentiment of what Sark was talking about as well. When those things start to happen, it's interesting to the point of this. Texas has been around for a long time. It is the first time that Texas has ever been ranked number 1 in the preseason poll. Drew Martin he said that yesterday during our meeting. He said, I did not realize that this was the first time in the history of the University of Texas being ranked number 1.
And if you want to hear Hill's comment, here they are right here.
I mean, of course we see it because we're all on the same end of this job, but we kind of like ignore it and kind of just focusing on us and just try to focus on what we need to do every day to be the best team we can be.
There he is. That his voice sounds a little bit different, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah, I was like, man, it sounded like Anthony Hill got a little bit of that. Are you the man that wrecked the buffet at the Herald Club?
I like that. I like that right there. That was good. I like that, Mark. I know exactly Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he was also talking about a bunch of the players on the team, obviously, what's going on with them and the defense. And you and I, as we were walking off the field, you were still in the middle of the field, but Cole Brevard was walking by. Now, we've heard how big this human is, and we understand that. But when you have walked past someone, like when you were at your height of being Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, Chocolate Thunder, and all that stuff that you were sexual chocolate, but you start to think about it and you saw where you were. This young man is probably one of the largest human beings that I have seen, and I've been around you for a long time. He is one of the new defensive tackles, but he was asked, Hill was asked about who's been standing out at the new DTs.
I'll say all of them have been doing a good job in their own way. Some of them specialize in different stuff, but collectively they've been doing a good job of kind of working together and making a good statement.
Brevard is somebody whose name keeps popping up in every conversation. If you look at any of the message boards and what he's been able to do, he has been very impressive so far during camp.
Hardge, they said he 330, but he's got to be bigger than 330.
Yes, I think so too.
I mean, I've seen 330 before. That dude right there, man, he's one sandwich away from 350. I guarantee you.
And it's a solid 350.
Yes, sir, it is.
It is a solid 350. And he looks like he wants to inflict pain on every single person that he comes in contact with.
Well, I want to see if these guys now can get internal pressure. Because if they can get internal pressure and Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons are being double teamed and chipped, and the interior lineman could actually have a really good year. Right. This could be the time where guys could have like 3 or 4 sacks apiece, or you have one guy with like as an interior lineman that gets 5 or 6 sacks, and they start looking good in the draft.
Right, and that's what this is all about. Obviously, you come to the University of Texas. Your job and your goal is to win national championship, be SEC champions, and everything that goes along with that. But your ultimate goal is to play at the next level. We've seen it happen. We've seen the development of a lot of these guys already and what they've been able to achieve. One name, we talked about Cole Brevard, one name that keeps popping up and jumping out of everyone's mouth is Ty Anthony Smith. What he has been able to do and get better and better every single week has been very impressive. And Anthony Hill was asked about him as well.
Oh, I mean, he brings the energy every day. I mean, he's been working on the strike. He's been striking really well, playing physical and fast. I mean, that's all you can ask. Yeah. I mean, since he is a little slender, he has to be a little bit more physical than everybody else. I mean, he has to bring a little bit more on every pop, and he's been doing a good job doing that and working at it fast for it.
Ty Anthony Smith, name to keep in mind, my friend.
You know, you can call somebody slight, but I think about anybody that's 200 pounds. I don't know if I would consider them slight. They're just not as big as the mutants. You know, and that's the thing about the University of Texas. Well, I remember when Jacob went to a camp over there, and they said, hey, there's a lot of really good players here that won't play here. We're looking for large humans.
Right.
And there's some guys out there that 6'6", 330, you know, like that's a 6'7", 353, Connor Stroh. Like, I mean, there's some big people over there. So for him to say a 217-pound guy is slight, that's not doing much for me right now.
Well, I mean, compared to him, that's why he's calling him slight. You know?
He what is he, like 230 or 240?
Yeah, he's putting up some movements over there on them weights, and he's one of those strong 6'3", 238 is what he is listed at. And I got a chance to stand right next to him at an interview, and he is all of 6'3", 240. You know what I'm saying? So he is definitely, he and Colin Simmons are built a little bit different. So if they want to call him slight, I'm gonna
stop calling people slight. You just a mutant.
He's slight. We're just getting started right here on the Morning Kickoff, a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio. But next, I want to talk NFL. Quarterbacks have been named starters, and I want to get Mark Henry's thoughts on this. Eric Henry of Horns 247 will be joining us to talk more Texas Longhorns. And Greg McElroy loves the Horns, and he loves Arch Manning. We'll talk about it all right here in hour number 1 of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show.
So Texas goes in there to play him in Danny Meyer Coliseum floor. Kurt Thomas played the game of his life, and TCU upset Texas. So a month later, they have the rematch in Austin. Texas blows them out of the water. Billy Tubbs did not want to go in and do the postgame. That's when he walked into the news conference, stood at the microphone and said, okay, I'm only going to take 3 questions. And then somebody raised their hand. Why only 3 questions, Coach? Now you're down to 2 questions.
Weekdays at 2.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
An accident on I-35 northbound at Kyle Parkway moved over to the right shoulder, but still causing about a 5-minute backup from FM 150. On Research Boulevard going southbound, there's reports of a crash at Loop 360, as well as a stalled vehicle in the right lane heading eastbound the 290 toll road at Harris Branch Parkway, causing some minor brake taps. I'm Jason Fostick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Craig Way here, voice of a local college football team, and for Dr. Greg Eckert with Advanced Dentistry, where I've been a patient of his for over a decade. You can experience a new level of dental care in Austin with Dr. Eckert. They provide general, cosmetic, and advanced restorative dentistry. Unlike a lot of dentists, they're open on Fridays. And get this, Dr. Eckert is giving away Zoom teeth whitening for free with every new patient that schedules. That's a $600 value. Give them a call today to set up an appointment. 512-345-3166. Dr. Eckert is spelled U-E-C-K-E-R-T. DrEckert.com.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $500,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at henna.com. Together, let's drive.
This Sunday, iHeart presents the Big Three Championship between the Miami 305 and the Chicago Triplets in the most physical, fierce, and competitive basketball league in the world. This epic fight for the Big Three Championship title pits two-time MVP Michael Beasley and Big Three Fourth Man of the Year Lance Stevenson against trash-talking Rookie of the Year Montrezl Harrell. In their regular season meeting, Montrezl exploded for 28 points and dominated for the Chicago win. Can Beasley and crew win the rematch and triumph when it counts the most? The action starts with the Big Three's 8th annual All-Star Game, featuring Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, Jordan Crawford, Jonathan Simmons, Glenn Rice Jr., Frank Nitti, Earl Clark, Deshaun Stevens, Corey Brewer, and more. No phoning it in the Big Three. This is an all-star game where the stars show up to battle. The 2025 Big Three Championship and annual All-Star Game. The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific on CBS.
Yay, yay!
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
Hey, it's comedian Nikki Glazer. I can't wait for you to listen to my new show, The Nikki Glazer Podcast, from the Big Money Players Network and iHeartRadio, with my best friend and roommate, Andrew Collin.
Hey, it's me, Andrew.
He's hilarious, and no, we are not,
Cooking.
iHeartRadio is #1 for podcasts. You can always find the Nikki Glazer Podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, God.
Coach Sark here. 1300 The Zone is your flagship home for the Texas Longhorns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Mike Hardball, Hardge, world's strongest man, the Mark Henry. As always, just doing our thing. Is Mark going to be, you got him on the screen?
No, I'm not on.
There you go. I'm like, can we find my guy, please? Mark, I wanted to get into the NFL because obviously this is going to be the last preseason games for a lot of people. It may be the last preseason games that you have an opportunity to impress the coaching staff enough to be able to be number 52, 53 on the roster, maybe even find another starting spot. But the one thing that I wanted to ask you is throughout football, there's been some announcements that have been made about those that are going to be the starting quarterback. We can go to Cleveland, and the fact of the matter is right now the starting quarterback is going to be Joe Flacco. We thought that was going to be the answer. We thought Flacco was going to be the guy. But the one thing that I was trying to figure out, can they carry 5 quarterbacks, 4 to be exact, because Deshaun Watson is still dealing with the injury, right? So he's still trying to work his way back into it. But the story is, are they going to be able to keep that many quarterbacks on the squad?
I don't think so, Hardge. I think that right now Kenny Pickett might be a guy that's going to get traded. If it was up to me, I would keep Gabriel and Sanders.
I was going to say, I thought you was going to say, if it was up to me, I'd trade everybody. I'll just get everybody.
You know how I really feel in my soul.
Yeah, I do.
And but you know, like the thing about it is, I would start the same way. You know, you got a veteran that you have a bunch of guys on your team that they're ready to win right now. They don't want to develop someone.
Correct.
And, you know, when you have older players and you're in a situation where you're trying to like get it right now, that's the good move to make.
Yeah, but see, here's the only problem that I have with that, Mark, is if you are trying to build for your future, right? If you are trying to understand that your squad has a chance. I understand what you're saying about the veterans. They don't want to lose, but you've been losing anyway. It's kind of like what I talked about yesterday. You missed it. I've been watching the Dallas Cowboy documentary, right? The Gambler and America's Team, how he got there with Jerry Jones and all this stuff. And Mark, let me tell you, it brings a tear to my eye every time I watch this because there's so many good things that was happening and how you got to that point. But the one thing that stood out to me is when Michael Irvin came in, you already know how Michael Irvin is. He's the exact same way that he was when he got there, that he is today. He was so fired up that he wanted to do different things, and the veterans kept trying to shut him down. The veterans was like, no, young fella, you need to do. No, y'all need to change the way things are being thought about here. You need to change and become more aggressive. So if you are going to put off the inevitable, whichever is going to be Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, why not get one of those kids out there right now?
They'll be awesome trade bait next year. Like, let them guys, let Flacco go out there and play until he can't. And what says that he's going to last the entire season?
Correct.
You know, like when you get to be 40 plus years old, man, you one hit away from making that announcement. I had a consult with my family and my doctor, and they've advised me that maybe I should be holding a clipboard. He just one hit away from that announcement.
Right.
So give these first 6-8 games to those guys to know what it looks like at full speed on that sideline.
Yep.
Because it's not college. And we saw Shedeur Sanders drop him in the bucket, hit him with the changeup, roll out, but still keep his eyes downfield. We saw Gabriel make some really pre-snap moves that I really like the fact that a guy can go up there and see it before it happens.
Right.
That'll keep you out of a lot of trouble. So both of those guys are quality pieces. What need do you have for Pickett? I'm just asking.
Right,
you got your starter. Why do you need Pickett? Trade Pickett to somebody that's in quarterback hell right now. And then Flacco may be the backup next year to one of those guys. And you may end up having to be able to get another second-round pick for one of those guys next year to develop your team. And one of them will be either Sanders or
Gabriel.
Gabriel will be a starter next season. So, like, they got to figure out what they're going to do because you're not going to hold all four of those guys when you have to have 53-man roster by the end of the week or the beginning of next week. And holding the extra guy, that means that's one less lineman or one less running back or, like what if, God forbid, one of your wide receivers get hurt and you need to bring up another wide receiver? You can't do it without penalties.
The fact of the matter is Deshaun Watson is next. Deshaun Watson is there. He is ready to go. He is trying to come back. So you still have that in that huge contract.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you are the Browns are in a place that reminds me of when John Gruden was the coach of Tampa Bay and all he kept doing was bringing in quarterbacks. He kept every quarterback on that sideline and didn't let them play. And it was just crazy to me because nobody else could get a quarterback. It's like fantasy draft. You holding on to them and hoping somebody make a trade for him, and nobody wants to trade because you ain't playing him anyway. Let's go up to New York because New York also has made a decision, and they're going to go with Russell Wilson, another position that we thought was going to be in place. We thought Russ was going to get the start, but Jackson Dart has looked amazing thus far as a quarterback in the NFL.
Hardge, I would not be surprised if Russell throws a couple of picks and Dart comes in. Dart looked very good during this preseason. When he didn't throw dimes or throw a nice deep ball, he pulled it down and ran it with his legs. And as much as people said, wow, he kind of looks like Josh Allen, I never saw it. I never saw it until this preseason. He has a little bit of that Josh Allen, Cam Newton in him.
Right.
And I dare say some Vince Young.
Come on, man.
Where they don't look like they're running fast. Josh Allen, tell me that Josh Allen looked like he's running fast. And I'm gonna call you a liar.
He looks like he's running in lowercase.
He's running in lowercase, but he's covering 5 and 6 yards a clip.
6'5", 6'6". I mean, yeah, your strides are a little bit different than everybody else's.
And Vince being 6'5", 6'6", Vince was fast, but he didn't look as fast as he really was.
Until he ran away from people.
Right, until he was painting the end zone,
right,
tiptoeing in the corner. At least 3 times during the preseason, I saw Dart do the same thing.
Right.
So, I mean, Russ is he's forced right now to have the best of his career.
Yep.
Because if he don't, in New York, what's going to happen, Hardge?
Oh, they're going to light him up. They're going to light him up. And finally,
my wife know about the We Outside people in New York. the We Outside people will come for his head. And then the media in New York is the worst when it comes to athletes in the post. They'll put you on the front page. Why is Russell Wilson here?
Right.
That'll be the caption.
They will definitely figure it out. Coming up in a little bit later, we're going to talk about what's going on in Indianapolis. Is this the end of the road for one Anthony Richardson? Even though
hard to say goodbye.
Is 23 years old. Coming up next, we've got our guy Eric Henry of Horns 247 talking all things Longhorns right here on a Throwback Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Heads up if you're trying to get into New Braunfels this morning on I-35 southbound. A crash blocks off 2 right lanes before Conrad's, causing an hour of backup that starts from Posey Road. A stalled vehicle blocks off the right lane on the 290 Toll Road eastbound at Harris Branch Parkway. And there's also a crash on the right shoulder on I-35 northbound at Kyle Parkway. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Now that Taco Bell's new marinated grilled steak burritos and Chipotle Ranch or Cheesy Melt are just $3, it's steak night every night of the week. Choose yours today at participating stores for a limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Tax extra.
Mark, I saw your car the other day. That license plate said world's strongest. Are you serious?
You got a problem with that? I'm the world's strongest man. It fits.
Fits? Man, the only thing that fits is your plate frame struggling to hold on to all them letters.
It's better than yours, fast guy. You run a 27-minute mile, Mike. That ain't fast. That's like a slow walk.
Hey, man, what are you talking about? Okay. That's the beauty of my plates. You can make it all yours, whether it's the team logo, your favorite nickname, you got some jokes, whatever is your style.
True. Mine gets respect on the highway, and yours gets giggles.
Man, why are you making fun of me, man? But guess what? It's a win-win for everybody. Don't go out there driving an ABC 123 on your license plate. Get a real one. All you got to do is go to myplates.com today. That's myplates.com. Use the promo code THEZONE. The Zone at myplates.com.
iHeart presents the Big Three Basketball Championship and 8th Annual All-Star Game. Miami 305's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson taking on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J's Chicago Triplets for the title. Plus Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, and more. CBS Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
He's coming. Here he goes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tigers with a 6-run first swept the Astros in Detroit. Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer expects pass rusher Micah Parsons to be on the field for week 1 despite recent contract issues. Texans will have a joint practice with the Lions today ahead of their preseason finale Saturday in Detroit. Longhorns getting set for their season opener next Saturday against Ohio State in Columbus. I'm Rhonda Moss.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Thrivent. Thrivent. Planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Recently on an episode of the Fud Around and Find Out podcast with AZ Fudd, we were joined by Courtney Williams and Atisha Heidemann, the Stud Buds, for a conversation that goes from viral moments to downright chaos.
Courtney, you picked me up at All-Star. Do you remember that?
Stop it. I was picking people up, but I do remember picking you up, for sure. I picked you up in a different way, AZ, than I was picking the other baddies up. You feel me?
To hear this and more, open your free iHeartRadio app. Search Fud Around and Find Out with AZ Fudd and listen now.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
It's Thursday, so that can only mean one thing. This is the time that we get to spend with our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 247. And as always, he's ready to bring the heat. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _. And of course, you can find all of his work at Horns 247. Happy Thursday, my brother.
Oh, man. Happy Thursday. Appreciate it, fellas.
Ready to get it going, man, as always. So let's get right into it. It's been a busy week on the 40 acres. We got a chance to see Coach Sark twice. And, of course, we got a chance to have Arch Manning, Michael Taft, and, of course, Anthony Hill get a chance to meet with the media. Take something from each of those guys, but they all seem collectively on the same mindset of getting ready for next week.
Yeah, no doubt about it, right? I'll start with QB1 in Arch Manning. You know, it's been interesting, right, fellas? A lot of the conversation around the team in preseason camp has been, well, the defense is making plays. The defense ahead of the offense. And what I say to that is That's to be expected, all right? Defense typically hits the ground running a little bit quicker than offense, especially when you're trying to incorporate so many new players. But the takeaway from Arch was hearing him say, hey, I'm starting to get my footing, right? We're starting to make some plays against this defense. And here's what I'll say about this as I transition to Anthony Hill and Michael Taft. Guys, I don't think Texas is going to face a better defense this year than they face in practice every day. All right. So let's take that for what it's worth when you talk about the offense starting to gain some traction. From Anthony Hill, the thing that stood out to me is just how confident he is in this linebacker room. And the reason I mentioned the room as a whole is, yes, we've talked a lot about Anthony Hill, of course, and for my money, is the best defensive player in college football this year. But Leon Galafau, guys, Anthony Smith, right? Not the biggest dude. I know Mark has talked a lot about Anthony Smith. Not the biggest dude, but they don't call him Hurricane for no reason. He brings the pop when he comes to hit you. So just the depth there at that linebacker room. And real quick with Michael Taft, just the communication in the secondary. I can't emphasize this enough. We talked about in 2023 the struggles of Texas in the secondary, and a lot of it came down to communication. One of my biggest questions entering this year was, how could the communication carry over from last year? Because you had Andrew Makuba and Jade Barron. Those guys are childhood friends, right? They've been communicating since they were 12, 13, 14 years old. Now you don't have that. So to hear that seemingly the communication has carried over, despite the fact you don't have your childhood friends, those were all key takeaways for me.
Don't you think, Eric, that it's easy for our guy Anthony Hill to be confident when he's got two defensive tackles that are 350 pounds. He's got a defensive end that you have to double team. So he doesn't have to worry about a guard coming to get him. He don't have to worry about a tight end trying to come down and crack on him. He knows that he's going to have to play in between both 5 spots. So like with nobody to come mess with him, all he has to do, I would be confident too.
Mark, here's the thing. I'm going to name a couple linebackers, right? I'm not saying Anthony Hill is this guy yet, but just hear me out to your point. Ray Lewis, Luke Kuechly, Patrick Willis. I'm talking about 3 NFL Hall of Famers right there who all played middle linebacker. And of course, Anthony will play a little bit of both. But the thing those guys all had in common is they all had big standout defensive tackles who kept them clean, right? You can even take a look at a guy like Levante David, for example, in Tampa, who has a Vita Vea up front, right? You keep them clean. So for me, yes, to your point, you have a Cole Brevard, you have a Travis Shaw, you have a Murad Watson. That's going to be huge for Anthony's game. And considering the fact he has Colin Simmons on the edge, that's another guy you have to account for. So yes, that should leave him to be very confident.
And that's why he can be able to move side to side as freely as he would like to. And that's the confidence part that I truly enjoy. We're talking to Eric Henry of Horns 247. You can make sure you follow him at Eric C. Henry _. We talk a lot, obviously, offense, defense, but I don't think we've put enough special teams behind us to have that conversation. Obviously, the question was asked about Mason Shipley and his role. And then, of course, you think about the punting game. Coach talked about hidden yards, and that is the part that I like the most, that he's really focusing on the special teams.
Man, Hardge, tell Marcus spend less time on that beard and more time on the props, all right? Nevertheless, I'm sorry. I take a shot at my guy Marcus.
Hey, man, he cut his hair. Leave him alone.
No, Hardge, to your question in terms of the special teams, it's gonna be a big factor. I'm gonna work in reverse, right? I think Jack Bowmeister at punter, he's a sure thing, right? Yep. I mean, and you take a look, Hardge, the game that I remember in my time covering Texas that stands out to me, is Alabama. When Texas went to Alabama and Ryan Sanborn placed 3 punts inside the 20-yard line, pinning Alabama deep, field position. Those things matter. They're not going to matter against, no disrespect to, I guess maybe I shouldn't use Vandy as an example anymore. Diego Pavia might get upset at me, but Sam Houston or some of the other schools, it won't matter in those games. But when you're facing Georgia, Ohio State, those big time games, that matters. In terms of the kicking game with Mason Shipley, I'm going to be really interested to see how that plays out. He's a guy who I covered when I was covering Conference USA. He was at Texas State, big leg. But here's the key for me, Hardge and Mark. Texas should not kick more than 15 field goals this year. This should not be a year like 2023 where Bert Auburn is kicking 35 field goals. If they are, that means that they're settling for too many 3s instead of 7s. if Mason Shipley's kicking 12 to 15 field goals, they're in good range. And one quick final thing on the special teams. Jeff Banks did say that they're going to be a bit more of a pressure unit this year on punt return. You don't have a Xavier Worthy. You don't have a Silas Bolden. They're going to come after some kicks this year. So maybe you get a couple kicks blocked. Keep an eye on that.
I love that. Love that. Mark?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that the punt game is going to be fine. That guy's leaving them in 5 seconds in the air. Like, how you can't make a return if you got a 4.5 to 5 second punt. Kickoffs and field goals, that's where I think there is going to be some growing pains early. I think that this kid can turn it around like in the middle of the season. But listen, like Eric said, let's not put him in a position to where we need him early, like especially early.
Yeah, Mark, super quick. You got to hope for Mason Shipley's sake there aren't growing pains, because one of the things that I asked Jeff Banks about is it's one thing to kick at Bobcat Stadium at Texas State, and I'm not disrespecting the folks in San Marcos.
Yep.
It's another thing to kick when you're at Ohio State. It's another thing to kick when you're at Florida, right? So let's hope for, Horns fans' sake, he's getting them through the uprights early, because you don't need any mental hurdles to try to overcome once you get into SEC play. So
Love that fact. Love that fact. Before we let you go, E, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the secondary. Obviously, we talked about Michael Taff and what he brings to the table, but Grayson Littleton, a guy whose name just keeps popping up, and just like Ty Anthony Smith, he's somebody that Texas fans should be getting to know.
Yeah, Grayson Littleton played for my old high school coach, or one of my old high school coaches in Tampa, and Mark Canner, when he was at Gaither High School. Grayson Littleton, a product from Wiregrass Ranch. He has really come out, I don't want to say come out of nowhere, but he's making the most of that slot nickel spot. Of course, with Jalen Gilbo shifting outside, Grayson Littleton, and of course, it's a position that you've seen Texas start a freshman in, right? They started Jalen Gilbo when he was a freshman there. So he's been a guy, even from the start of camp, always in the right spot, the right time, always making plays, always around the ball. Keep an eye on him to see if he can open at Ohio State as a starter at Star.
I love it. I love it, man. As always, you bring the heat, and we definitely appreciate you. Prayers to your family and hoping for the best, man. We'll talk to you again next Thursday, man. Game week, baby. Game week will be happening.
Appreciate it, fellas. Y'all be easy.
All right, brother. Be easy. There he is, Eric Henry of Horns 247. Coming up next, we're going to close out hour number 1. Greg McElroy loves the Texas Longhorns, and he loves some Hardge. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, a real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Heads up if you're trying to get into New Braunfels this morning on I-35 southbound. It crash blocks off 2 right lanes before Conrad's, causing an hour of backup that starts from Posey Road. A stalled vehicle blocks off the right lane on the 290 toll road eastbound at Harris Branch Parkway, and there's also a crash on the right shoulder on I-35 northbound at Kyle Parkway. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Payday. Hardworking people need a hardworking candy bar. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is definitely working hard for you. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday, peanut caramel bar. Get to it.
If you're ready for a new car, you need to listen up. There's a lot of choices. There are a ton of choices, but do yourself a favor and call Apple Leasing. The number 346-9977. My wife and I are going through it right now. We're trading in her car and getting something a little smaller. You know, the big car, we used to need it, but not so much anymore. So we're trading it in, and we're going to lease a new car from Apple Leasing. I'm happy because we're going to know how much our monthly payment is on a car. No surprise repairs, no new tires, no new brakes, nothing. Plus, all the latest and greatest technology that's in the brand new cars. You can get any model that you want, any make, whatever. They'll get it for you at Apple Leasing. They've been doing it in Austin for over 30 years. Trust me, I've been leasing cars from them for over 20 and about to do it again. Call Apple Leasing today at 346-9977.
Liz went from being interested in true crime to living true crime.
My husband comes back and he's shaking. And he said, your dad's been killed.
This is Hands Tied, a true crime podcast exploring the murder of Jim Melgar.
I was just completely in shock.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Hands Tied, and listen now.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lowe's has the Labor Day deals you need to give your home a new look. Buy one, get one free select interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Then add the final touch with 2 for $8 on select 2.5 or 3-quart mums. Refresh your home and save big while doing it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Mums offer in-store only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
iHeart presents the Big 3 Basketball Championship and 8th Annual All-Star Game. Miami 305's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson taking on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J's Chicago Triplets for the title. Plus Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, and more. CBS Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app. Back to Hardge and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Great stuff from Eric Henry of Horns 247. Always bringing the heat. Next week will be game week, and we'll be closer and closer to Texas and Ohio State when the next time that we talk to Eric Henry. I want to get into the conversation real quick, too. You get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Pantera September the 2nd at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. All you have to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app, search for AM 1300 The Zone, tap that red microphone, and leave the keyword of the day, which is lightning. Lightning is the keyword of today for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Pantera September the 2nd at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. Be making sure that you're listening to the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, this afternoon as he gives you a chance to win a pair of tickets to another concert. But most importantly, make sure you locked in to the Craig Way Show, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, as we are your home for Texas athletics, especially starting next week. Mark, a lot of people have been talking about the Texas Longhorns coming into the season and the expectation. None more than one Greg McElroy. Greg McElroy has been a fan of Texas. We got a chance to talk to him at SEC Media Days. He just seems to be dialed in and locked in when it comes to the Texas Longhorns. And he stated the same thing that I did not too long ago. What if Arch is really, really that good?
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
What if Arch Manning lives up to the expectations? I must first, before we answer that question, establish what the expectations are. He right now is the Heisman frontrunner in the preseason. The guy has started 2 games in his college career. That if he lives up to it, not only will he take home the Heisman Trophy, but in all likelihood, Texas will win their first national championship in the last 20 years. Because our expectations are for him to go out, throw for 40-plus touchdowns, knowing that his mobility, his athleticism is going to be a huge part of what this offense could potentially attack you with. But for Arch Manning to live up to expectations would be almost impossible because our expectations are probably a little unfair. Now, I'm super excited. I'm super bullish. I would never bet against this young man. But I also think, too, our expectations have gotten to the point where regardless of what he does, every superhuman play he might make this year, you're probably not even going to be wowed because that's the expectation that you have going into the year.
That is 100%. Yeah.
You like that?
I like it. I did a show, Hardge, and we talked about Arch, and we talked about the perception of Texas. And Greg's assessment of Texas is he almost feels like it's unfair of the expectation that's put on Arch and the Texas team. But I don't. I don't feel like it's a problem.
I've said this before and I'll continue to say it. I think the expectations are fair, but they are a little outlandish for somebody who hasn't had a chance to play. Now, you can look at the team, you can look at all of the things around him that is going to make this team special. I was at lunch with a buddy yesterday, and all he kept talking about was, hey, man, look at the schedule. Look at how the schedule sets up. And if he is that good, our defense is going to be the major piece to it. And I agree with that. I think the defense is going to be ridiculous. But just like every other school, they got scholarship athletes too. They recruit well too. So there may be a day where things just aren't going the right way. So I have no problem with it.
Well, I think that one of the quarterback's job is managing the running game.
Yep.
Is, being able to keep the sticks moving. And Arch, as long as he has in his mind, I don't have to throw the deep ball to get this done. He's going to be fine. Because with a good running game, he might need to pull it down and run 7 yards and slide. He may need to hit the check down and let his running back or tight end and the check down, whoever is the check down, get the first down. That's the important thing, because the later the game gets with a defense like Texas, and you keep your defense off the field, so in the fourth quarter they're fresh, Texas wins.
Well, you said something there just a minute ago about getting down and making sure that you live to play another down. That's exactly what he and his grandfather have talked about, and it's a unique way of ending every single phone call.
Yeah, I think I just need to be smart. Obviously, those hits add up. My grandfather, he can, he's hobbling around these days, and he ends every call with "get down" or "get out of bounds." So I'm definitely hearing it a lot.
Get down or get out of bounds. That's how they. That's how they.
I love it
to each other. Later, Grandpa. Later, Arch. Make sure you get down and get out of bounds.
Get out of bounds. I love it.
Yeah. Those are the types of things that the experience and the conversations in that household are a little bit different than some of the other households that have those conversations, because you are reflecting and learning from people that have actually done it and done it at a high level. So I respect that. And that is something that all of us has talked about, because I keep going back to that game against Ohio State last year. People kept saying, oh, man, they should have put Arch back in the game. Arch will tell you, no, sir. I got popped. And I did not need to be back into that game.
And you know how he got popped, Hardge? He had ran the ball, and he was one hand on the ground trying to get extra yards.
Yep.
And got hit in the back of the head.
Yep.
So I think that Archie needs to really focus on what his grandfather's telling him.
Yeah, I think he needs to focus on the next play. You know, that's why every single time you look at some of these young quarterbacks that want to run around and do some extra stuff, you're like, nah, bruh, I need you for the next play and the play after that and the play after that. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 is just around the corner. We'll hear more from Arch. We'll also have the world's strongest take. WNBA is making moves, Major League Baseball, and we have final football games of the preseason. But coming up next, we're going to talk NFL and final cuts right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
iHeart presents the Big Three Basketball Championship and 8th Annual All-Star Game. Miami 305's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson taking on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J's Chicago Triplets for the title. Plus Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, and more. CBS Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
You think your 401k is safe, growing, reliable. But here's the truth. The 401k was never designed to make you wealthy. It was built to shift risk onto you, leaving your retirement exposed to Wall Street crashes, inflation, and chaos. Noble Gold helps Americans roll over part of their 401k into real physical gold. Tax advantage, penalty-free, and shockproof. Get your free wealth protection kit now at noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
There's nothing like King's Hawaiian sliders and summer grilling season. They go together. You got King's Hawaiian, soft, fluffy, irresistible rolls, slider buns, so versatile, perfect for any slider. No matter if you're looking to grill chicken or beef or pork, seafood, anything you can think of, you're going to put it on the grill, you can put it on a King's Hawaiian slider bun. Kick off summer grilling season. Pick up a pack of those irresistible King's Hawaiian rolls in the bakery or deli section of your local grocery store. There's nothing like it.
Every family matters. Join the Salvation Army's Day of Giving August 20th and help bring shelter and hope to families in crisis. Right now, over 600 parents and children are staying in Salvation Army shelters, and 500 more are waiting. Your gift stays local, and it's matched dollar for dollar. Just $25 provides a night of shelter for a child. Call 512-605-1410 or donate now at dayofgivingaustin.org. Together, we can reach our $1 million goal and give families in our community a fresh start.
Did you miss the Bitcoin wagon?
Millions got rich because they got in on a technology you still don't understand. But the crypto gang got greedy, handing control of the Bitcoin network to China. This carelessness gives us a second chance, called Texit Coin. You're invited in on the Texit Coin journey. We'll guide you through this new frontier to claim your share of the profits. Don't let your friends get rich without you. Secure your seat as we take Texit Coin to the moon and beyond. Learn more at texitcoin.org. This is an investment that carries risk. Texitcoin.org.
Live radio, trusted DJs, breaking news, live play-by-play, endless music, and podcasts just for you. It's the free iHeartRadio app. Radio your way. Join the millions who already have it. Download the free iHeartRadio app, the #1 app for radio.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to a Throwback Thursday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We are Kwame Cavill days away from Texas and Ohio State. That's right. We can't wait for football season. And Kwame Cavill was one of the dopest, and he's from the 254. You know I got to put that out there.
Oh, my gosh. I'm just done.
Yeah, special shout out to our guy, Eric Henry, for always bringing in. We just heard from Greg McElroy talking about the Texas Longhorns and what if Arch is really that good. Coming up in the next segment, we'll hear from Arch as he talks about earning respect and the playbook from the University of Texas. And, of course, we'll have the world's strongest take, and we'll close out the show talking about the WNBA, Sophie Cunningham being out, as well as Paige Beckers and her huge night. But, Mark, I want to go back to the NFL because, as we talked about earlier, the final cuts are just around the corner. Guys will have opportunities to play in the league. There will be some guys that will be looking for another opportunity in the league as well. So tonight you have the Steelers taking on the Panthers. And here's one of the things that I was thinking about. Aaron Rodgers still has not played in a game, in a game to be able to work the timing with his teammates. We've heard about this multiple times. Everywhere he goes, he wants to be critical of certain players about these types of things, but yet I don't see him doing the extra stuff. Now, I know he's 41 years old. He's been around the league. He doesn't have to do all that. But I still think with a new offensive coordinator, a new system, a new team, I just feel like there should be a little bit more of an effort for these guys to play in these games. Now, it's the last game of the preseason, so be it. But do you not care if these guys play or not?
Hardge, this is going to sound real odd coming from me.
You going to trade them?
That wouldn't be odd. That would be consistent. What's odd is when it comes to older quarterbacks, guys that have been there, done that, you have thousands, tens of thousands of yards that you've thrown. I don't think that he really needs to be out there. And we said that about Dak Prescott. I'm saying one series.
Right.
I'm not saying to go out there for a half. I'm saying go out there one series, hand the ball off one time with your running back, throw something to the tight end, and throw something at your star receiver. If it just happens that you score, great. If you score an interception, go try to make the tackle and prove to your team that you're all in. Right. There's no wrongdoing in one series, Hardge. Just one?
Yeah, I'm with you. I have said it. Even if you go out there and you hand the ball off, just make an appearance to show me that you are lathered up and ready to go and is all into the game.
Pause.
Also, I wanted to go back to you on the the Indianapolis Colts. We were talking about people being cut and the changes that are going to be made. They've decided that they are going to go with Daniel Jones over Anthony Richardson.
Made the right decision. And you're going to be
that?
mad. You're going to be mad at me because you think that Anthony Richardson is just a promising prospect. He's just that. He's a prospect. He has potential. Hardge, everybody out there has potential. I told you after the last season that dude should be playing H-back. I don't he can be a slash. He could be Cordell Stewart, come in and run a jet sweep, come in and run screens and run some wildcat. But I don't see him as a full-time quarterback.
But you see Daniel Jones as one.
I see Daniel Jones as being better than him. The Giants need to let a quarterback be a quarterback in their system.
The Colts.
I mean the Colts.
Yeah. Well, A.D. Mitchell, former Texas wide receiver, talked about what Daniel Jones has brought to the table. And the number one thing I want you to pay attention to is work ethic.
Smart football player, very demanding at quarterback. He'll kind of, tell you what, he wants you to do. And, it's an open dialogue there. So his work ethic is phenomenal. So just looking forward to carrying that through the season.
So let me ask you this. With that being said, the decision has been made. Anthony Richardson as a quarterback, he's 23, Mark. He's 23 years old, 24 now. Why is it that we're just giving up on these quarterbacks when they were thrust into the starting lineup? He didn't get a chance to develop.
He didn't, Hardge, and
they were terrible.
Some of that is not his fault. But you know what is his fault? Is not throwing the check down, not hitting the timing routes. All he does is try to throw the deep ball, scramble to where he can run to the corner, to the pylon. That's very easy to defend. You drop back into cover two safety, and you have your middle linebacker spy the quarterback. And you kill everything that he wants. And he doesn't practice enough in game time to throw the check down, to throw the quick routes, to hit the timing route over the top. You have to do all those other things to be a quarterback.
Well, when it comes to Richardson, when he came in the league, they know he was a project quarterback. The whole deal is they should have set him out no matter what, instead of throwing him in, so he can learn those things through our practices and through our camps and all that, but make sure he was ready when he was in instead of just throwing him out there.
Yeah, they throw him
But
out.
Hardge still wants him to play right now, though.
Hey,
even
man.
with him being a project and not having developed.
Hey, man,
why you throwing Hardge under the bus?
You know I'm right here. I can hear you, right? You know I can hear you. I don't need you to be talking about me while I'm right here. I need you to know.
That's what you and Marcus was doing before the show.
Talking without
I
you.
hold a grudge.
Well, here's the thing. I do want him to play. I think he's the better option for them. But the only way, and you know this better than anybody, the only way you're going to get better is actually game reps. Now, does he need to work on the fundamental part of that? Yes. He's at practice for that. You spend more time at practice working on his footwork, working on his balance, making sure that, to your point, take the check down. But athletically, Daniel Jones is good, but he doesn't have the upside. As a 24-year-old quarterback, we are just deciding that it's over for him. And that, to me, is the part that is not fair. Life ain't fair. I get it. I understand. Sports aren't fair. I get that too. But the fact of the matter is you put him in a place that was no good. And is Shane Steichen doing this because he knows that his job may be on the line? Maybe. Maybe he wants to go with something that's a little bit more polished and has more game reps. And obviously, A.D. Mitchell believes that this young man can help them. But there are still some things that I believe that Anthony Richardson could bring to the table. And that hit that he took early in the camp where he dislocated his pinky did not look good for him. And now he's paying the price for that. So they're moving on from him, and we'll see if he gets another opportunity somewhere else. Some other places that we got to figure out. The Cowboys play tomorrow night, so we'll get into that conversation. We'll have Tommy Yarish with us at 8:17 tomorrow, or 8 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll ask him what's going on with this Joe Milton project. What is Schottenheimer doing? But there's other teams that are trying to figure out. We didn't really dive into the Caleb Williams experience the other night, Mark. What was your biggest takeaway from Caleb Williams getting his start in the new offense with the new offensive coordinator?
Did you see how fast he was getting the ball out of his hand?
Absolutely.
And that's the difference between last year and this year. Last year, he did exactly what we just said about Anthony Richardson. He tried to make plays with his legs when there wasn't a play to be made. You're spinning your wheels, or as my uncle say, you punching it on ice. That's what he was doing. He got the ball out of his hand. He threw 2 timing routes. Before the wide receiver made his break, the ball was already in the air. That's hard to do, and it requires practice and trust. And Anthony Richardson, no trust, because he won't throw that ball.
Yeah.
He won't throw it. But we got to see Caleb actually do it, when last season he didn't do it. So there is hope for Anthony Richardson. But when you talk about Caleb Williams,
yeah,
Anthony should watch him.
Yeah, they're going to make some adjustments. We'll end up seeing what's happening, as always. Coming up next, we're going to talk more Arch Manning. We're going to hear from Arch. We're going to also hear from Michael Taft and how they give each other a hard time. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Coach Sark here. Stay connected to the Longhorns on the free iHeartRadio app.
Breaks a tackle 30, turns down the sidelines. Say goodnight to this one. Touchdown, Texas.
Just search 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way there.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
There's a stalled vehicle blocking off the center lane on the service road of Highway 290 westbound at Springdale Road, as well as an accident being cleaned up on Palmer Lane at DeSaw Road. If you're just heading out the door, hopping on Mopac going southbound, be ready for some stop-and-go traffic from Howard Lane over to Anderson Lane, adding about 10 minutes to your morning commute. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
After 48 years, Factory Mattress is going out of business forever. Over $15 million worth of world-class mattress brands must be sold immediately. Up to 80% off at Austin and San Antonio's largest independent mattress retailer. Everything must go, right down to the bare walls. Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Stearns & Foster. No interest financing is still available. The Factory Mattress going out of business sale is happening now at all 14 locations. Don't miss it.
This Sunday, iHeart presents the Big Three Championship between the Miami 305 and the Chicago Triplets. This epic fight for the title pits Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson against Montrezl Harrell. In their regular season meeting, Montrezl exploded for 28 points and dominated the Chicago win. Can Beasley and crew win the rematch when it counts the most? The action starts with the Big Three's 8th annual All-Star Game, featuring Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, Jordan Crawford, Jonathan Simmons, and more. The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific on CBS.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of General tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan to see their General tire test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $500,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com. Together, let's drive.
Here's that song again. Here's that song again. For the 100th time today. Here's that song again. It's gonna be stuck in your head all day. Here's that song again. It will make you cray cray.
You love your kids enough to watch that TV show a bajillion times. Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat for their age and size. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's Bud Light's countdown to kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball Hardge, world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry, and of course Marcus behind the boards. Coming up in the next segment, we'll close out the show. We got some specials for you that we're going to talk about. But right now, we're going to go back to the 40 acres because Arch Manning obviously has been getting a lot of love, and rightfully so. And Mark, you know, we are 9 days away from the Arch Manning era officially starting, but there's been a lot of hype. But one thing about Arch, he is not a media guy.
I think that's just who I am. I'm not a guy that seeks the media. No offense, guys. But it's really about the team, 11 guys on the field. So we're excited right now, and I'm just having fun. I dreamed of being in this position, so I'm not going to take it for granted.
And you believe that?
I do.
I believe that as well. I mean, you see him. You saw his videos when he was a kid. I'm going to be a quarterback at the University of Texas. You know, he was real excited about that. And everybody kept thinking of all the other places. But the reality of the situation was this is a guy that all he wants to do is go out there and play football with his teammates. But he's also a guy. Go ahead, Mark.
He wants to prove that he deserves the hype.
Which is
and a lot of people are not willing to step into that. No, I don't deserve it, but I want to prove to you that I do.
Well,
And when I get an opportunity, I'm going to show you. That's who he is. I like that.
Well, he wanted to make sure that he earned the respect of everyone else.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first got here, I feel like the guys that had the most respect were the guys that really worked hard and took it seriously. So I followed their lead, whether it was Jay Witt, Jonathan Brooks, Kelvin Banks, especially guys like that. I wanted to be like, and look what they're at now. So kind of goes full circle.
He wanted to be like Jay Witt. He wanted to be like Jonathan Brooks. He wanted to be a guy that was respected first before anything else, and he modeled himself after those guys.
Hard, don't it look good though when you follow a good leader, and then that leader turns to you one day and says, "Hey, you got to keep this on track.
Yeah,
this is your show now." Man, it's such a great feeling. I've been the captain before, and I became the captain because it was handed over to me, not because I took it. And Arch is loving that situation, and I feel like this is going to make him look like even more of a high draft prospect in the NFL because of leadership.
He has that ability. I mean, that's who he is. That's how he's been born to do. But one of the other thing is he's been born to play quarterback, and he was asked, has Sark pretty much given you everything in the playbook, or is there still some things that you're working through?
Yeah, I mean, we're always putting in new stuff and building, but yeah, we have a bunch of good plays in.
We have a bunch of good plays in. He don't, like Sark, he don't want to give away the game plan. He's not going to share all the love, and he's not going to be able to let you know that, hey, this is where we are with this conversation. But one of his good buddies, the defensive back, Michael Taft, guy that is Mookie, one of the instrumental parts of this team and the backbone of this team, but he also got some jokes. But he was asked, hey, is this team, this defense, can it be better than last year's defense?
Sure it can.
Really?
Sure it can.
In what way?
Well, I mean, Jade and Makuba, Barron, AC Vern. Am I missing anybody? That's 5. All those guys were really good, so it's hard to replace those guys. But when you got Anthony Hill a year older, Leonga Lafau a year older, Colin Simmons a year older, myself, Jelani, Manny, Gilbo, Kobe Black, and then you add guys, I think, yeah, you can be better for sure.
How you feel about that, Mark?
I believe that he's right, but that's a troll question. That when I say a troll question, I mean you're looking for a soundbite that may be something negative, not something on the positive side.
That's the wrong person to go to then. If you're going to look for a soundbite, you know who you go to? You go to Colin Simmons.
Yeah, because I'm the one.
Because I'm the one.
Why number one? Because I'm the one.
Colin Simmons is that dude. Speaking of trolling, did you see his photo on his Instagram?
Hey, that dude right there, you know who he is?
Debo.
He yeah. I can hear the bicycle creaking down the street.
He is Debo.
I'm gonna tuck mine in.
Yeah, it's like both of ours. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm gonna just keep it at my house.
Exactly. He is Debo, and again, you know the playfulness between these guys on this team. It shows you. It shows you how close this team is. People asked Anthony Hill about Colin Simmons. He was like, yeah, Colin gonna do what he gonna do because that's who Colin is. I'm not saying he's not gonna get to the quarterback, and he's that guy that's gonna inflict pain every opportunity that he gets there. But you also heard about the iron sharpening iron and everybody playing together on the team and trying to help each other get better. But one of the biggest things was the playfulness between Arch and the playfulness between Michael Taft. If you remember back with the recruitment of Arch Manning, Michael Taft was the one who was in charge of his recruitment. He got him here. He's on the campus. Now they become really close. If you see one, you see the other. They used to hang out at the baseball games, at UT baseball games. They hang out a lot. But the one thing that they always mess with each other about is All-American status. Obviously, Michael Taft is an All-American returning in that secondary, and Arch is working to become an All-American.
Is he an All-American?
You're an All-American.
I don't know.
You're an All-American.
It's really cool to have somebody so grounded, have all this attention. I mean, I would hate for it if it was the other way where he really liked the attention, but he doesn't really like it. We had an opportunity that I'm going to keep closed to go be in some media thing that was going to be really, really cool. I was kind of excited about it selfishly, but he was like, I want to stay out of the media right now. So we turned it down, but that's just who he is. He just cares about ball, and that's really it.
Love it.
Hey, Hard, you hear that?
Yeah.
That's a young guy that's already sacrificing for the greater good.
Yeah.
Let's not make it about me. Let's chill. We'll have plenty of opportunities for that. I'm trying to lay low. Bro, I'm so excited right now that we're in single digits.
Yeah, 9
days away.
Yep.
Holy cow. I don't know if, man, can you see it?
Can I see the end of the light?
No, can you see the excitement? It's like Christmas. Like when you said that earlier, that we're 9 days away, my heart started beating fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all feel that the way I do, but I'm just so happy to have football back. And I really do feel like that Arch, for a young guy, he's kind of mature beyond I can't say a rookie quarterback because he's been here 2 years, but he's not your typical first-year quarterback starter.
I agree with that. But do you realize that we are less than 3 days away from real football with a ranked opponent, Iowa State versus K-State, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. from Dublin, Ireland? Football starts this weekend, Mark. Football starts on Saturday. You feel me? It is that time for college football to kick off, and it kicks off on Saturday.
Well, look at this. Look at this. I'm in Glasgow, Scotland right now. And a lot of the conversation is about college football over here. And I've never heard
conversation.
I've been in the UK since I was 15 years old. I've never heard anybody talking about college football. Never. But they talking about it right now.
And they got every reason to, because we are 9 days, single digits, ready to go. Coming up next, he's ready to go. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, the Mark Henry, gets ready for his world's strongest take. Right around the corner on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a stalled vehicle blocking off the center lane on the service road of Highway 290 westbound at Springdale Road, as well as an accident being cleaned up on Palmer Lane at DeSalle Road. If you're just heading out the door, hopping on Mopac going southbound, be ready for some stop-and-go traffic from Howard Lane over to Anderson Lane, adding about 10 minutes to your morning commute. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Hardge here. It's time to buckle up, y'all, and it's back to school season. At Cover Ford Hutto, we know it's not about what you drive, it's about who you drive. Right now, take $9,543 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat, or $9,500 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Ford Escape ST line. Safe, reliable, ready for the school year. Only at Cover Ford Hutto, right off of 79 in Hutto. CoverFordHutto.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on a February 2025 Nielsen report.
This Sunday, iHeart presents the Big Three Championship between the Miami 305 and the Chicago Triplets. This epic fight for the title pits Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson against Montrezl Harrell. In their regular season meeting, Montrezl exploded for 28 points and dominated the Chicago win. Can Beasley and crew win the rematch when it counts the most? The action starts with the Big Three's 8th annual All-Star Game, featuring Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, Jordan Crawford, Jonathan Simmons, and more. The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific on CBS.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, morning showers and storms will make way for mainly cloudy skies for your Thursday afternoon. A high of 92. Could see a stray shower or storm tonight, a low of 73. Friday, partly cloudy with a high in the low 90s.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like New Metal Radio. Wake up, featuring old school heavy alternative from Korn, Linkin Park, Nine Inch Nails, System of a Down, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search in New Metal Radio, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio presents Stuff You Should Know.
Caffeine can be really good for you and help a lot of things, and caffeine can be kind of bad for you.
It's a drug, and in its pure form, Chuck,
Yeah.
It is a bitter-tasting crystalline powder.
Naturally, it's in the coffee bean and in chocolate and tea, but it's also added artificially in things like soda. Your body is enjoying the caffeine. It's blocking that adenosine. You're going to feel alert and awake. It's got that adrenaline going, and it's rewarding you with the dopamine. I mentioned the vicious cycle, the inevitable crash,
right?
Like any stimulant drug, and you want more of it. Eventually, it's going to affect your sleep patterns. All right, how about some health benefits?
Right.
They found everything from not develop Parkinson's disease to dropping your risk of various cancers.
Well, coffee actually is shown to reduce your risk of diabetes.
4 cups a day, 50% less chance of mouth and throat cancer.
You should eat more grapefruit because grapefruit contains something called narragin or narragin, and it actually slows the removal of caffeine from your brain.
Okay.
So you enjoy its effects longer.
Nice.
Yeah.
For the entire caffeine episode and everything else in the Stuff You Should Know universe, open the free iHeart app, search Stuff, and listen now.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
That's what I do! That's what I do! You heard that beat drop. You know what that means. He's across the pond. He's in Scotland, in Glasgow. But right now, he is with us, bringing you his world's strongest take from the WWE Hall of Famer and world's strongest man, the Mark Henry. Take it away, big fella.
Hardge.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus. Back then, they didn't know me. It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus, back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They're all on me. Hey, we got a delay.
You don't have to be delayed. Just keep going, dog. You good.
A little technical difficulties. Guys, I'm very disappointed today. And my take is what I think protocols should be. Andy Reid, 67-year-old football coach, Super Bowl champion coach, the coach of Patrick Mahomes and the Fighting Chiefs. You know, that's kind of like Gladys Knight and the Pips. Yeah, but anyway, I digress. Andy Reid was in the facility this offseason, and 3 shots were fired into his office from outside of the facility. Somebody basically tried to shoot Andy Reid. The bullet holes hit 15 feet. Hello?
Yeah, we're there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. The bullet holes landed 15 feet from his desk. And since that time, they put bulletproof glass in his office. That's the information. My take is that more has to be done to prevent things like this from happening. The standard should start at 25 years, trying to assault a official, a public figure. How is Andy Reid supposed to feel comfortable sitting in his office, even with bulletproof glass, after being shot at? I love the thing of the fan, the fanatic. I love that. But what I don't like is I don't like when something happens to a public figure or a coach that the person gets a slap on the wrist, or they say, oh, well, they're mentally ill. We're going to give them 2 years in probation. No, the standard for something like this should be very, very high to make it a deterrent. What say you?
Well, first off, that is news to me that I had to go and Google search that because I didn't know anything about that.
Wow,
that is
Hello?
interesting. That is interesting when you start to really get into the crux of it all. I always look at it in a certain way too, that, you know, the fanatic part of it that you brought up is getting to the point that it is way too much to me. When you as a fan lose all sense of reality. I sit here and joke about the Dallas Cowboys and how I'm not happy with some of the things that Jerry Jones has not been able to do or has not done for the organization in such a long time. I'm not losing my mind over it. I'm not at the point where my life is so miserable that I have to go and do some harm to anybody related to the Dallas Cowboys. That, to me, is probably some of the most ridiculousness of being a fan. If you are going to be a fan, understand you have no bearing on the outcome of it, to the point of you can go there, you can cheer, you can do whatever it is. But after that buzzer, bing, game over, take your behind home. It is not life and death because you have no bearing on the outcome. It's the people that are on the field, the court, the whatever, the pitch, whatever your fandom is, leave it at just that. Why are you shooting at Andy Reid?
I don't get it.
He's a coach.
It's crazy that these events, like the things Andy Reid has been through as a coach, period, losing his son, the Javon Belcher thing years ago, also right at Chiefs camp.
Yeah.
And now this, it's a weird thing weird thing that Andy Reid is going through.
Bro, 3 bullet holes 15 feet from you, and you can see one bullet hit. Then you can see another bullet hit the wall. And then you see another one. I'm like, man, what are we doing?
Well, where did they get the access from? That's the other part of it too. Like, how are you that close? Are you a sniper? Are you in a place where you become a sniper? You know,
I guess that's what it was. They were a bad sniper because, they missed 15 feet. Thank God they were bad.
Absolutely. That's why it's just it's wild to me when you think about some of the things that fanatics try to do in their lifetime. It just does not make any sense. And it's disappointing, to your point, Mark. It's like, what makes you go to that level? And I understand there's some
I don't know.
There's some off people out there. I understand that. We get it.
Who's next? Chris Jones?
But
Patrick Mahomes?
That's the part that is scary. Well, we've heard about people breaking into players' houses while they've been out of town because they wanted to do something. You saw other parts where there's been quote unquote stalkers on certain celebrities. But I guess you and I and the people that we associate with, we are built a little bit different. And our mindset is not the same as somebody like that. But it is rather disturbing that someone can get that close to quote unquote a public figure and somebody that wants to be a part of the community. Now that people want to withdraw a lot of time. That's why people are always on guard.
Yeah, Hardge, I think they need a little Jesus.
Oh, there he go. I knew you had something in your hand to look for some people, man. There he is, the world's strongest man, bringing you the world's strongest take. We're going to close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. But Sophie Cunningham, the enforcer, is out. And Chicago Bear got a new contract. And get your tissues because you're going to tear up. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The voice of the Horns. Craig Way on 1300 The Zone. Weekdays at 2.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
A stalled vehicle is blocking off the shoulder on the entrance ramp on I-35 northbound coming on from Onion Creek Parkway. Looking onto Highway 71 for a wreck at Serene Hills Drive at about a 10-minute add to your morning commute on Mopac southbound due to congestion, making that change from Howard Lane down to Anderson Lane. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why rewards members get free standard shipping, starting at Silver Key or Gold Pro status. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/shipping terms subject to change.
Looking for top quality permanent fencing for your home or business? Look no further than Viking Fence. With over 50 years of experience in Central Texas, Viking Fence delivers craftsmanship you can trust. Whether you need wood, iron, or a custom solution, Viking has the perfect fence to fit your needs. What sets Viking Fence apart? They source the finest quality Western red cedar lumber direct from the mill, the most durable and attractive fence material available. Plus, they offer 3 grades of fence pickets to meet every budget. So whether you want Viking to install your fence or you're taking on the project yourself, call Viking Fence today. They pride themselves on excellent work, outstanding service, and an honest reputation. Call 512-601-8911 for a free estimate. That's 512-601-8911. Or visit VikingFence.com/radio. That's VikingFence.com/radio for your free estimate today. When you think fence, think Viking.
Hey there, local business owner. Ready to make some more money? Whether you own an auto shop or a dinner spot, Valpak Direct Marketing can help you do just that. All bells and whistles are included, so you advertise when and where it counts to reach new customers that spend more. Measurable results, proven reach, zero guesswork. That's Valpak. Visit valpak.com/advertise to see if you qualify for a free mailing. That's VALPAK.com/advertise. Let's grow.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
This Sunday, iHeart presents the Big Three Championship between the Miami 305 and the Chicago Triplets. This epic fight for the title pits Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson against Montrezl Harrell. In their regular season meeting, Montrezl exploded for 28 points and dominated the Chicago win. Can Beasley and crew win the rematch when it counts the most? The action starts with the Big Three's 8th annual All-Star Game, featuring Dwight Howard, Greg Monroe, Jordan Crawford, Jonathan Simmons, and more. The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific on CBS.
Liz went from being interested in true crime to living true crime.
My husband comes back and he's shaking. And he said, your dad's been killed.
This is Hands Tied, a true crime podcast exploring the murder of Jim Melgar.
I was just completely in shock.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Hands Tied, and listen now.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a best man speech, but getting one from some random +1.
I can't believe I'm standing here today. Seriously, why am I standing here?
Don't settle for just any insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
If you missed any parts of the show, get over to the podcast page wherever you get your podcast, but hopefully it's on the new and improved iHeart Radio app, or just go over to AM 1300 The Zone on social media and you can pull up the show and all the shows here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Make sure you tune in at 2 o'clock this afternoon to listen to Craig Way, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, as we are your home for Texas Longhorn football. That starts 9 days, Kwame Cavill days, until the football season starts. Mark, everybody's loving your little Jesus. Everybody's giving you a little shout out on the little Jesus, so they started laughing at that. Good job with that. But I wanted to talk about this because you and I have had discussions about the WNBA. You sent me an article that I'd already talked to Khalil about. Marcus about when it comes to Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers scores 44 points. First time a rookie got to that number, and just
in a loss.
And she just balled out. Kelsey Plum beat her on the last second shot to win the game, 81-80. But Paige Beckers is somebody that I've been a really, really big fan of throughout her time playing basketball. Another story is in the WNBA was about what Sophie Cunningham had become. She became a social media darling. People were all up in arms about her and how she was protecting Caitlin Clark and her appearance. A lot of people were loving that. Well, she's out. The enforcer of the Indiana Fever is out. She tore her MCL, and so she's going to miss the remainder of the season, which is a disappointing part of what's going on with her right now because of the fact she was the light in their tunnel to make sure that team continued to roll because Caitlin Clark has been out for so long. But I wanted this to play for you because we talked about Caleb Williams earlier and the importance of Caleb Williams growing in that offense. But our other part of it is we've always talked about the backup quarterback position. You got to have a good backup because those quarterbacks like to run around and they do some different things that, might put them in some peculiar places and might make it a little bit tough on them. Well, the backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears, his name is Tyson Bagent. He's been playing. He's been the backup. He's been doing all kinds of great things. He signed a 2-year, $10 million extension yesterday to be the backup for Caleb Williams. And the fans love him. His dad was the arm wrestling champion for a long time. ESPN did a story on him. Tyson went to like a D3 school, and now he's in the NFL and been there for quite some time now. But he got an extension, and just listen to the emotion that he had at this particular time.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people don't know this, but my dad is he's my right hand man, and he didn't even have running water until he was in high school. So there's definitely a lot of things and people that I think I could certainly help with this gift I've been blessed with. But yeah, just little things like that. I don't really know anybody back at home with any money, so yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's certainly a weight off my shoulders and my family's shoulders. And yeah, it definitely means a lot.
Man, my man said they didn't have running water in their house when his dad didn't have it. And his dad did everything for him. And right hand man, you and I, we're dads to some sons, and being the right hand of them is something that we can only strive and hope for, that they feel that way about us.
Hardge, I know that guy.
Yep.
I know that guy. I come from Silsbee, Texas, man. Little small town, 3,000 people, 4 lights. And one of them is blinking. And I understand not always having utilities in your house. I understand having an outhouse. Until I was in the 6th grade, we had an outhouse. I know what he's talking about. Not knowing nobody to have money. Well, I mean, as an adult, but as a kid coming out of high school, you know how ignorant I was to the world and to things and systems, and I mean little simple things. I didn't know what the cup was called, or the plate that you put underneath the cup. I mean, it was just little bitty things. For him to understand where his dad came from shows that his mother and father raised him right. And the first thing that he's thinking is how many people I can help. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy myself a new ride."
Right.
I'm gonna go buy my mom and dad a house. He talking about how he gonna help somebody else. Thank God for people like him.
Yeah, and he's a fan favorite, and he's continued to motivate a lot of people. When he was the one that got the start, when Caleb Williams wasn't playing, the fans would go crazy because he's a blue collar guy. He wasn't blessed with everything. He just brought it up, but his talent has kept him in the league. His work ethic, he's almost like a Taysom Hill. If you really, really get into the brass taxes of it all, he was one of those guys that has that ability to do those types of things. So it's been really cool to see that. And I know that Bears fans are looking for a reason to be excited for the season. I think you just got that with this young man right there.
What a great story. I'm so glad that we ended the show with something like that, Hardge.
No doubt, no doubt. We also got NFL football tonight. This is the final cut. Go ahead and look at all these guys because as Mark Vandermeer told us on Tuesday, there's going to be some guys that are going to help your team with some victories at some point this year. The Steelers will take on the Panthers starting at 6 o'clock on the NFL Network. Amazon Prime has their first game. The Patriots at the New York Giants at 7 o'clock. We got football on Friday because it's going to be a feel-good football Friday, and we'll get you up to date on all of that tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for the morning kickoff. For Mark Henry, for Marcus, I'm Hardball Hardge. Just remember this. Don't believe everything you see because even salt looks like sugar. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.
Did you miss the Bitcoin wagon? Millions got rich because they got in on a technology you still don't understand. But the crypto gang got greedy, handing control of the Bitcoin network to China. This carelessness gives us a second chance called Texit Coin.